The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh my gosh, after all those lovely intros, and here we are. Hi, everyone. I am Maddox, the storyteller for Changeling, Stained Glass. And joining me on this lovely second episode of Season 3 is my ever-present cast.
I am McStabber, and I'll be playing Priscilla Rowland, also known as Esmeralda the Aeshu.
Hey, I'm Evie Eternal, and I will be playing Lady Embra, also known as Melody Rockwell, the Sheed.
Hi, Cozy Core back. I'm going to be playing Eva Oakley, aka Very the Satyr.
Junie motherfucking Banash, how are y'all doing? Honey Badger Swift, Red Cap.
Hi, everybody. I'm the Reverend Sarkhan, and I get to play Oscar Holst, otherwise known as Sir Ridari, Manticore's Bane, the magnanimous troll.
Hi, I'm Mischievous Red, and I'm playing Blair Wilson, or Asteron, your lovely Clericon.
And I was not shaking my head at my last cast member. I was shaking my head at the previous cast member for saying the one word I was trying to avoid this intro.
Every episode needs to be worked in.
Apparently. When last we left our changelings, there was sort of a meeting at S's place after a little bit. Ace had brought their younger sister to meet some folks, since people could get a sense of what was going on with that child. And a whole bunch of stuff happened, including several hits of banality that these Cathane are not really used to, as well as some extra extraneous bullshit from the previous seasons. Now, we open this fine episode with much less banality. We're currently in the back of a bakery. Vray, you and a couple of employees are busy mixing up some new batches of dough. It's nothing too strenuous right now. It's start of the day. It's early. But how has our dear satyr been? Has she been at work? Has she been isolating in her home with Not? Or what's been her life right now?
So definitely, it's straight to work and then straight back to the house. It is not. It's not an issue of control. It's an issue of being safe and protected, since like more than half of the Dragos is gone.
Mm-hmm.
We had implemented a kind of like just like a system just to make sure that everybody's safe. So it's like you go straight to where you need to go, whether that's work or wherever, and then right back. And you always have at least 2 other people with you.
Okay. And as you all are finally getting done with the last bits for this batch, your employees say, hey, if you want to go check the front, we got this for a little while back here. And as Ray steps out, I'm going to assume that at least Esmeralda and Oscar are there already.
And Honey, too, to pick up.
And actually, and Honey, yeah, because she's a regular at this point.
And Marigold.
Oh, is Mari with you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Embra and Ace, you both arrive simultaneously, whether by walking, by bicycle, by car, by Uber, whatever your transportation may have been.
As you get there, you notice that Eva is like just starting to like open up the store, but then immediately I see Honey's there and I go and I open the door and Esmeralda, you're here too?
Yeah, I actually need to place an order.
All right. Come on in.
Thanks.
Vray, you see Jolly like acknowledge you with a nod and then just to walk behind the counter and go back into the kitchen.
What's that little drug dealer doing?
Probably raiding the kitchen of the Chimerical Sugar.
And just to clarify, I realized I didn't mention from last episode, this has been about 5 days, not a full week, but it's now a lovely, lovely weekend evening or morning rather, as it were.
Did Oscar come with Esmeralda?
No, with Marigold.
Or are you gonna and Marigold? Okay.
Yeah, but I'm there. I probably have a big one of those cardboard boxes of coffee you get at Dunkin' Donuts. And just a little stack of styrofoam cups.
And Mari is also holding a very tall coffee to go that she's just nursing slowly.
S will actually allow Honey and Oscar and Marigold to place their orders if they want something first, because she's got a special request.
Orders are already made. I do it nightly, so
okay.
Yo, Oscar, Mayor, go for it.
No, the usual. It's fine.
I'll take whatever cupcake's on special right now.
I just kind of like, I actually like text to like the staff in the back.
And then S leans in and says, I need to request the largest croquembouche that you guys can make with Chimerical Sugar. But it needs to be able to be transported in my rover.
Okay. I think, I'll use a wedding cake box. Yeah. No, we can do this.
Perfect.
What's a croquembouche?
Cream puffs done up in a tower.
And you call them croquembouche?
Croquembouche. It's French.
Oh.
And then you have sponge sugar wrapped around it. It's beautiful.
Is it good?
Isn't the Kraken Greek? Or would the
It's
French
not
call
the
it?
Kraken. It's croquembouche.
Oh.
I mean, the Kraken to have all those cream puffs coming out like tentacles? That'd be pretty fucking dope.
It's frightening, actually.
But
Descending
eat it.
Descending in the middle of your conversation, you all see a floating white cube. It rotates, not anymore. Rotates, and you all think it turns to acknowledge each of you in greeting, but it's a faceless white cube. It's kind of hard to tell where its face is. And it says, if it helps, it's all based off of the same word, croquette. The Japanese have their own version too. It's called koroke.
Ooh.
And then it just floats back up and you see it like stick to the ceiling and then and go through the ceiling. There's no hole.
Where's my rainbow? The more you know. Dun, 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 dun. Damn.
Frey, the cube is now a main staple around the property of the bakery.
Just comes and goes whenever.
Just hangs out, yeah. You have since learned that its name is P, and it does not give you any more letters yet. It says there is more, but you don't deserve them yet.
Does it get paid per fact that it spews, or?
No.
I mean, it could use one of those crocambushy things to numb on. Sounds good though. I'm hungry. Can you make more of those?
As the question is asked, there is a loud ruckus and clattering of what sounds like many metal bowls, followed by a, I swear I tied my apron. What the fuck?
Jolly.
There's like a few seconds of nothing, and then first horns poke through the side of the doorway, and then the head.
We do not antagonize the people that make us treats.
I did nothing.
Liar.
Come on, you little gangster.
Come on.
And he walks with the trudge of someone who's like, man, I didn't want to stop fucking around just yet. But he walks over and stands next to you.
Mm-hmm. And he does a little na-na-na-na-na, little beatboxing as he's walking out.
He spits at you, doesn't hit.
It's fine, I can eat you. Just don't forget that.
And she just looks down and says, next time I'll leave you at home.
Suck it.
To which he then mutters, right, like, I don't know how to break out of our own fucking home.
It's okay. We could find a way to keep you in. It's okay. Gonna play.
Vray, as you look back, nothing important was messed with, but they are still picking up a few of the clean, so they have to be washed, but clean mixing bowls that Zjali somehow, as a chimera, knocked over in the physical world. And then Ace and Embra, you both, I'm assuming, have arrived out in the parking lot or right outside the store, whatever the case may be.
Yep, and we actually arrived together.
Yeah, I ended up picking her up, and she was picking my brain, apparently. So yeah, that's the story of how Lady Swift almost got executed in the middle of court. That would have been one hell of a story. Oh goodness.
I would have hated for my mom to kill a friend.
Yeah. I don't know that I could have stopped her, and I mean, Swift would probably put up a good fight. I don't know if she could take the whole court, but she's certainly quite strong. Shall we head in?
Yeah.
Lovely.
And you are greeted with the scene of the rest of your friends.
Hello. It's good to see everyone again.
I can't say my bakery has been this busy at 8 a.m. in the morning in a very long time.
Yes, it is rather early. I thought about making cookies, but then I realized that would kind of be redundant.
Oh, Ez, tell him about the croquembouche thing.
I just placed an order for a croquembouche.
A croquembouche.
You mean Krakenbush?
The Japanese call it that, but the French call it croquembouche.
Okay.
I see.
Okay. It's one of those words I've only ever seen written.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Certainly sounds like an advanced pastry.
It's a tower of cream puffs with spun sugar around. Mm-hmm.
My goodness. Why? Are you throwing a party?
No. I have someone to entertain.
Understandable. Is this
Care.
someone a red cap?
No.
Are you
That's-
going
Wait a
to
minute.
elaborate?
You saying that the only way she can satiate a red cap is by throwing a croquembouche to me?
No, they're not that picky.
Oh, well, I know I'm not that picky, but geez, damn.
I mean,
Call
if
me
you
out in
want
the
to
middle
make a
of
good
fucking
friend, I suppose.
My idea is that I will pop off cream puffs and toss them down something's gullet while I tell a story.
I suppose that's fair.
That
You're
could
sure
still mean
it's not a red
anything.
cap?
It's
I'm
not.
gonna have to
It's
choose.
probably worse
Delightfully vague.
Why won't you tell us?
because I don't
The-
want you telling me it's a bad idea.
The
I
white
do that?
cube, the white cube descends once more, Ez, and this time somehow you can tell it's looking at you.
Of course it is.
And then it gives a perfectly mathematical tilt that it then reorients back to standard.
Mm-hmm.
And you all can just somehow tell fucking chimera expressions are bullshit. You can tell this thing just winked at her and then it floats and vibrates back through the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on. Maybe I can help you, Alice. Come on.
That's an interesting little friend.
The Blue Mustang.
Nope.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
No.
Yeah, I helped with that last time. Okay.
That was a terrible idea.
See?
It was amazing. I got to.
I'm not asking permission, just so
That
you
is an
know.
interesting idea.
Who would you be asking? Like any of us could do that. Blue does what Blue does.
Is your
Sorry.
intent to slay this creature?
No, my intent is to remind it what it actually is.
I see.
Fucking awesome horse.
Exactly.
Okay, good. Oh well, I'm on team
Because
Blue.
so many people have claimed it's a demon that it acts like one.
So, what exactly is your end goal with this? What are you hoping to achieve?
To have it allow me to write it.
You know, I think it would make a better story if you wrote it while it was still a demon.
No,
You don't think that'd be a better story?
I am not suicidal.
Yeah, I was about to say, I
Come
feel
on,
like I
have a little
wouldn't
faith in your
recommend that.
abilities.
Mari takes a very long draw from her coffee.
Just give her a look like, this is every day.
She looks at you respectfully as you're a mad woman.
Oh, yes.
She's an issue. Duh.
Have Ace and Mari ever actually met?
I
don't think so.
don't believe so. Or if you have, it was in the most briefest of flashes.
Hi, I'm Ace.
She trades her coffee to her other hand and shakes hers back. It's very good to meet you. Although I do have a quick question. You are a Cluricon, correct?
Yeah?
It's very good to meet you. And she socks you in the face. Let's see if she actually can.
Fucking what the hell? Holy shit.
I'm a Cluricon.
I mean, I expect that as a red cap, but fuck.
And crap. It does hit, but only deals 1 bashing damage to your jaw.
Oh.
And she like tilts the coffee up like, and seems like she's waiting for something.
I mean, gonna hit her back.
Damn straight you are.
I mean, she's not a Cluricon if she
that's-
doesn't.
Yeah, I was like,
Sight, I see.
pleasantly
why-
surprised for a proper greeting.
This is why I didn't introduce the two of you.
Oh, come on, Asky. This is fine.
It's diff 6, Ace. She's not even trying, but she will dodge a little bit just to make it
Oh.
not the easiest thing in the world.
Hold on, let me open my dice. I was hoping to not to. 1, 2,
Oh. Curveball.
3, 4. Hold on. And then I have darn. Okay. 1 success.
That is more than enough. You sock her in the jaw right back. If for a second, it almost looked like she maybe made sure that you got in the same spot that she got you. And she then like leans sideways for a second and then reorients herself with a smile.
I haven't
Red
had a
cap
proper
applause.
greeting like that in a while.
It's very good to meet you. Ow. Ugh. She then takes another sip of her coffee.
At this
I
point,
do it-
Eva suggests, because there's probably going to be human customers soon, why don't we all go back to my office?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Ace, if you ever want me to sack you in a proper greeting, I'll be soft on you. But I mean, I'll still hit you.
If you want, that is the proper greeting, but no one does it because I live with a household of she.
Okay. Give me a second.
S is now, because there's violence going on, she's going
Yeah,
into
no.
Vray's office. Okay.
Yeah.
She really doesn't like this shit.
Right
Are
behind
you
her.
gearing up for one?
Oh, so she's not gonna gear up. She's just gonna gently kind of sack you in the arm.
Okay,
And
if there's
only 3 successes. It's not an actual throw punch.
if there's any indication that you're gonna go for it, Ace is gonna go for it at the same time.
Yeah, that's fine. Because she's down with it. It's just a little kind of like throwing it into the shoulder. I'm not going to like beat her up. It's kind of a, oh, we're throwing.
Okay.
But I'm not trying to throw.
I'm going to guess it's another bashing for me. It's be bashing for you too.
I will say,
down.
how about this? If you want to deal damage, roll. If not, then you don't have to.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm taking her and throwing her through the window. The entertaining, though.
As you all go back, Vray's two employees that are there also wave as well. They seem to be... Now they've moved on from dough to what looks like an icing. Probably want to have some of that ready for today. And you all are now sat in... Vray, what does your office look like?
It's actually a little smaller as what one would be in a bakery. But there's a desk in the middle, and then there's like chairs kind of like in front, because that's where I would take like custom orders and stuff. And then all behind is just like shelves of paperwork.
And you actually all walk in. He was standing right next to you, but Jolly is in Vray's chair. Spinning slowly.
Throw him off if you want him gone.
It's fine. And Eva just sits on the desk.
As soon as she does, Zolly then steps off the chair onto the desk and stands on it.
Are you desperate for attention?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay. Just
And he
checking.
just stands there.
Just checking.
Nile is a river in Egypt. There.
And you can also find... I don't know shit about Egypt.
Pyramids, mummies. Daddies
Pretty
are all gone.
pretty sure the pyramid's in Vegas.
We did see one in Vegas, yes.
Heavens help me.
I mean,
was
yeah, I climbed the Eiffel Tower when we were in Vegas. That was fun.
Yeah, you did.
I was so hoping the cops would tell me to get down. They never did.
Because they didn't see you.
More's the pity.
Sounds like you should have made it showier. Lessons for next time.
I wasn't as enlightened and evolved back then. I'm better now. It's amazing what an explosion of glamour will do to you.
Certainly not wrong.
So, I've been attempting to find the March Hare. I've also been doing a bit of tracking with the Blue Mustang to figure out its patterns. But haven't really turned up much on the hare yet.
I've been looking into both Pentex and this, what was it, Belleferon Corporation, which seems to be a subsidiary. And the things I found don't seem to be particularly good, though it's surprising how little I can find, considering such a massive corporation is funding this particular venture. And I guess, Storyteller, what have I been able to dig up in the intervening 5 days on the Belleferon specifically?
Oh, on specifically Bellerophon, it is... They are... Originally, Bellerophon was just one small, like, psychological center where it came upon some research. Here, actually, why am I complicating this for myself? Okay. The Bellerophon Foundation was founded by a doctor who learned, and through watching several of his patients, he came up with the diagnosis for pervasive paracosm fixation disorder, or PPFD. The idea was developed by its discoverer, Dr. Anton Stark, in 1992. First case patient was one Sarah Shaughnessy. A lot of typical and frankly just old-timey psychological treatments led to this research. Dr. Stark retires. Bellerophon is now overseen by his successor, Dr. Sarah Shaughnessy. The main symptoms that are described for pervasive paracosm fixation is acute hallucinations, overactive imagination, delusion, and the more Embra read from that, the more she started realizing, oh, Kithane. What they're describing is exactly what Kithane see constantly. So those are the main points that she's learned. And that this branch in Denver is new. Like they aren't like infinitely widespread, and this seems like it's maybe a testing ground location. So that's what Embra has managed to dig up so far.
How new are we talking, by the way? Do I have an exact date it opened, or?
Like a couple months, maybe. Actually, let's say a few months. So 2 to 4-ish months new in Denver.
All right, I will relay all of that information. All right, so it looks like this place is acting as a sort of pseudo-clinic, but I'm concerned, and I think justified in that concern, that they are ridding Kithane of delusions, which would mean that they are probably, possibly at the very least, sending other Kithane into Bedlam. At least that seems to be their history. Their cures are very medieval, from what I can tell.
At least that's how it started. Maybe their techniques have evolved, but...
Yeah. It's deeply disconcerting that this branch also only opened a few months ago. And since then, there have been these disappearances. It's not hard to put 2 and 2 together there. Eva, you all right?
Storyteller, I was asking a quick question.
Arf.
Is that correspond with when the burst of glamour happened? When the last when the Dantain was ousted?
Oh,
like anything in particular, or was it just like kind of random timing?
I wouldn't say correspond. It would probably, I would say it probably started sometime after the explosion.
Okay.
When the kids started going missing.
Yeah, I was trying to see what brought them.
Well, we had an abundance of new kith crystallize. And
exactly.
I'm not sure how many got missed.
That is also my concern.
And if they were missed and telling people what they were experiencing, word would get around.
Yeah. My concern is also that they aren't letting these people go.
No.
Which is surprising if they cured them.
Vray, are you okay?
More than half of my family is gone.
What?
It's just 3 of us left now.
I'm so sorry.
Do you think it's tied to this, or do you think possibly your old Tragos is involved?
I don't know. I don't think it's... I don't suspect the old Tragos. Apparently, the last one of us to get kidnapped was taken by people in white jumpsuits.
I mean, that corresponds to the white vans.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Frey. Is there anything we can do for you?
I've had time to process. We're just trying to keep safe at this point and all together. Keeping busy. So this is a good project for me to work on right now, I guess.
Tried to penetrate into some of their, we'll say, files, but it's tight-lipped. They have a lot of money going into keeping what they are doing and who they are doing it to classified.
If they're only going after the new ones, why, like, how would they know about anybody that's already crystallized and been around for a while? Is like, do you know what I mean?
Unless they have people that can sense us.
Or somebody is informing on their fellow Githane.
That's true, too.
It's a disturbing thought.
Do that.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Who would do that?
Do I need to make
Dantain
you a
are obvious
list?
choices.
Anyone that doesn't like us.
There's also the possibility, and I don't like bringing this up, but someone who is looking to get rid of possible political enemies.
Ducky!
She doesn't know anything about this.
You're absolutely certain on that, Ace?
Yes.
Okay.
I've reconciled with my other sister.
That's good.
And trying to get as much information on Mommy Dearest as possible.
How's that working out?
It's a struggle. It's been literally pulling teeth.
She doesn't want to tell you?
She can't.
Oh, so your
She's
mother
got the
has
keys
done
at
that to
her.
her own child.
She did it to Simon. She does it to her. Oh my God. How many geese does she have running around?
I mean, I'm guessing my brother and father too, I'll be honest.
Oh, that sucks. Glad that you're not getting it.
Is there
never
nothing
trusted
she's
it.
not willing to sacrifice for her own power?
Ducky's gonna ducky, apparently.
I did put together, listening to you all talk about what this organization does and listening to what my sister said about my mom. My sister's concerned that our mom is erratic, more unstable, unpredictable. I wonder if they start driving people to Bedlam before they even capture them. And that's how they can tell if their actions start to have an effect.
I should also say, just as your humble impartial ST, Bedlam would be in excess of glamour, not in excess of banality.
I didn't know which
That's
ones they were doing.
It's all good. I just for general.
What is the term for
character
the
knowledge.
excess of banality?
Yeah, that's
I
the one I'm thinking
believe
of.
it just comes to the forgetting. I believe is just what it's often referred to as. But that's a broad term because it can mean, yeah, we just got back from the dreaming and can't remember everything. Forgetting gotcha. But then forgetting is also your human body was overwhelmed with banality and your face soul winked out or left, depending on what sort of deal the soul has. So the forgetting would be a decent terminology for it.
I get that they're trying to gaslight us, but who knows what else they're doing if they're even experimenting on that regard. That might just be what we know of. Regardless, whether it's them or not, she is changing. And not for
Perhaps the
better.
throne is cursed.
Isn't any throne?
Well, you had a Dantain set his ass on it.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got your mother sitting her ass on it and she's going cuckoo. Perhaps the throne is cursed.
Jolly steps down. I could take over. I'm immune to curses.
Yeah, right.
I am. Try me. Curse me.
She just looks at him so deadpan.
Goat shouldn't be able to give you a stupid, impish grin, but he does. Perfect, too.
It's not impossible, but I feel like something like that would have been picked up. Wouldn't that be something you check for?
Not if you're ambitious.
And she just strolled right in, taking that seat like she owned the whole fucking joint. Once we we arrested the Dondane. She just walked in, went like that, everything changed. She went, oh, guess what? And I'm like, guess what?
Oh, because she was totally in cahoots with the
Oh, fuck yeah.
The one that attacked the king.
Yeah. My mom's murderer? Yeah, that one. Still pissed off about that.
As he should be.
And she was supposedly the former Duke's, right hand.
My ass.
Right.
We have a number of problems here, and there's a lot going on that we don't know, and that concerns me. I don't like not having information.
Ray, have I met anyone that was taken in your travels?
Yeah, remember you were at the party.
Because they were all there.
Oh, Mary, did he get down?
I may be able to lead us to him then.
Why, how could you do that?
It's one of the arts I picked up, but if it fails, I can only do it the one time.
And Vray, you are missing Remy, Vronos, and Gar. Rydell, Knot, and yourself are still in the house.
Maybe you shouldn't stay there anymore. It's your previous Tragos, which doesn't seem likely, which we've kind of already talked about, or they're targeting you for some other reason, you and your house. Maybe it's, I don't know, compromised.
It's a freehold.
But yeah, I don't want to leave that alone.
Okay, maybe someone else should stay with you.
So it's not just the three of us? I mean, yeah, if y'all want to come, I mean, I know, S, you don't want to leave yours.
Fuck no.
I can send my uncle. I also have another red cap that lives with me. I can send them too.
I have one, but I split it. It's basically my family's. I just benefit from it. I can go if you need me to.
I haven't been able to pick up a pattern to how they're grabbing various changelings. In fact, I haven't seen anything from them.
Were you able to find an address?
ST?
There was an address. It was it's sort of, there isn't necessarily a medical district, as it were, but there are areas where hospitals tend to congregate, and it's sort of near-ish, but not exactly adjacent to like a medical center, essentially. But it's not in downtown, but it's next to downtown.
Gotcha. Next to downtown in one of the med plazas, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably where they are.
But everything front-facing, at the very least, is very on the books, which is concerning considering...
They already have a professionally designed website set up for the facility here in Denver as well.
Yeah.
All the logistics seems to have been handled very, very efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely the Pentex funding. I don't know how we get in. Well, there are a few ways, but I'm not sure how we can get in. I don't know what kind of numbers they have. I don't know what kind of defenses that they have.
I'm going to take a guess. We probably should not walk straight through the front door.
No, absolutely not.
Maybe
I could if you want, Jolly says.
Absolutely not.
Why not? What are they going to do? Grab me?
I don't know. I really don't know, and that concerns me a lot.
Jolly looks at you, S, like a, come on, you really think I'd get caught?
He is the best one suited for this kind of mission. I'd hate to say it.
I won't go if you don't want me to, but I just want to help you out, Esmeralda. You guys are dealing with so much shit.
I think before we do anything, this requires a little bit more information. So I don't think doing anything today seems brash.
Looks at Jolly and says, go. Get us information. And I don't care what it takes. You come back.
I'm going to stop him before he leaves and look at us. Send the bird too.
Haven't seen the bird.
Really?
S, you haven't seen the bird for about 15 days now. And the last time was literally just a travel for...
Did she get an update on the dreaming from him? Because that was when he was supposed to return.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The update on the dreaming was that it has gone from screaming. It's sort of like Yaga only speaks in metaphor half the time because, of course, it's the fucking dreaming. But he says it'd be the equivalent to a person screaming themselves hoarse.
Yes.
And so now it's more just like taking a breath, but he can't tell if it's to relax or continue screaming.
Right.
So there's no...
Yeah, it's been just over 2 weeks since I've seen the bird. So
I don't like sending him in alone. I'm gonna pick up Jolly. I'm gonna make a stop by Vincent's before I drop you off. But I don't want you to go alone.
Oh, if you don't want me to go along, I can just get some of my old crew. They're always down for jobs.
Oh, that's why I want to see Vincent and get a Kimmer of my own to watch over you.
That's good of you, Oscar, and probably the smartest. We do not know what these people are capable of.
Wait, so you guys just want me to have a buddy? Jelly then just turns and looks at the ceiling. You up for it? And then the cube floats down. I think I can do it. If you all would pay me.
How would you like to be paid?
Pay me in things that become other things. And then it sits on top of Jolly's head.
I'm going to get him a transformer.
All right.
And Jolly will turn and look.
Yes.
Look right up at you, and then he will hop up so his hooves are on your shoulders, so he's staring you more in the face.
Mm-hmm.
As much as an animal whose eyes aren't exactly forward facing can stare at you.
Mm-hmm.
Not only will I come back, I'm gonna come back the same way I left. A goddamn sex machine. And then he gets off and heads out of the office. You're not sure how he's going to get out of the bakery, but he seems confident he can.
I fucking love that goat.
He just starts humming the song, Just a Love Machine.
You know,
This is legit just laughing.
The literal goat. Greatest of all time.
Mari isn't making noise, but Oscar, you know when your wife is doing her best to hide a smile behind a thing of coffee.
Just the same look. This is my life.
I believe it.
No, this is my life. I have to live with that.
Chimera choose who they will, I suppose. She takes another sip. And I must say, I am very, very grateful to all of you. Because if this is the sort of energy my Oscar has been surrounded with, then he's been in good hands.
We've certainly tried. He's been reluctant.
When I met him, starched clothing was less stiff. And she takes a sip.
That's okay. He's like a boulder. We're just trying to push upwards.
This isn't about me. Can we concentrate on Vrace people and Bellerophon?
And honey, right before the conversation is brought back, Mari will lean over to you and just whisper, "One must imagine Sisyphus happy." And then she leans back.
She'll lean back and go, ask him about the fight we had in the men's bathroom
I know
sometime.
what that's from. Well, I suppose that'll be a good source of information. Hopefully nothing goes wrong there. I'm really, really hoping nothing goes wrong there. I guess the next best step would be to try and get some kind of tag on one of their cars or their trucks. That you've seen the white vans, right?
I mean, you could just follow them.
Exactly, but you're
putting yourself at risk.
You need to make sure they don't know you're following them. Excuse me, or else that could be very bad. We do not know what these people are capable of.
I've got my neighborhood watch. Every time they see a white van, they try either to take a picture, write down what the logos are, or just kind of observe and write down the day, the time, and where they were at.
Honey, you've gotten like 3 incredibly blurry photos. They couldn't get licensing in time or anything like that.
I got 3 really bad photos because apparently people don't have the pictures. Then again, Kit.
Why don't we just plop an air tag on it?
Sure. Do you want to hear the thunk when it hits the metal?
If we can find them stopped, then it might be easier to.
That's the
just
problem.
Plop something.
They don't stop.
Well, they have to stop at some point. Otherwise, how are they picking people up?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I know.
Which I guess, speaking of, if no one's seen them ever stop, how are they picking up people?
I don't know.
Jack?
Is there a chance that they just have ways to find those of us who are isolated?
Could be.
Possible. A way to track people who are on their own. I couldn't say. Maybe something to do with glamour and the fact that it can stick out if they. I don't know if they have a way to detect that or not. I don't know.
It could just be a no witnesses thing. No one doesn't
Prime
get
opportunity.
They did leave one witness. One of my Tragos saw the other one get taken.
And then they were taken.
No, I think it was. I'm not sure if it was Rydell or not, but one of them was with the other one.
Not was the one who saw Vronos get taken.
How quick was it? Did they get any detail? What did they look like? What were they wearing?
It was a white van, but they had white jumpsuits, from what I can recall.
Okay.
Do we know anyone that could perhaps look into their memories? Get a different point of view?
Not a bad idea, actually, but
I also hesitate to say this, given that you all have been there very recently. But to answer that, hun, everything's possible in the dreaming. She takes another sip.
She's not wrong.
I hesitate, given the state of the dreaming. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, though. If you're concerned about the state of the dreaming, it's never a good time to go in.
It's like tripping. If you think you're going to have a bad trip, you're going to have a bad trip. It's a dreaming. It's made for us. It made us functionally.
I know.
Oscar, if you do want a companion, I can join you to meet with Vincent. I actually think I'd like to ask some questions of the Dantean.
Some of my own, then.
Not pertaining to this, but she looks to Ace and says, pertaining to your sister.
Which one?
Anne. Who better to understand banality than a Dante?
That's a
Maybe.
fair point.
This got worse well after the Dantain was
Not to say
captured,
it was
though.
tied to him, but he
Just
has an understanding
something.
of it.
I think I might spend some time with my family. Not even Anne, but
Because right now we have to wait for Jolly and the former butterfly that is now a cube to get back. Embra, you have to get something, a transformer, yes?
Yes. Yes, I do. Need payment, after all. I'll, oh, go ahead.
Oh, my apologies. I just have to ask real quick as a storyteller curiosity. Esmeralda,
Yes.
what are your dots in Greymare?
Just a moment, please.
Take 3 of them.
Okay, in Gray Mare, I have 3 dots.
That is plenty. I'm not even going to have you roll for it.
Okay.
Just for sanity's sake, because S is right in that Dantain are inherently somewhat connected to banality, not because they themselves are banal. It's because they're corrupted, which leads to a different relationship. But the Dantain have an art that is known as ruin. Yeah. What it was before, no one can remember. And in some ways, everyone who has witnessed it has mentioned how it's reminiscent of something more, something greater than it is. But no one certainly will ever see what that art used to be, because now it's just all about poisoning balefire and
Corrupting others.
Corrupting a throne.
And buffering yourself against Cold Iron's influence, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So potentially the art has done some serious damage, as you saw with what you all had to deal with Oscar's memories.
Yes.
It fucked everything that it touched, which is mainly what the art is now known for, is that it fucks everything it touches. But it is also one of the most direct influences a Kithane can ever achieve when in connection with banality. Mm-hmm. So, as you are right in that if anyone knows about banality, it's probably a Dantain.
Mm-hmm.
if you think that's it and that they cursed the throne as well, I think that makes even more sense for me to go spend time with my family, see if I can pick up anything.
Another of my concerns is that it's surprising that, well, not that the throne would necessarily tell all their leads, but it's surprising that they weren't able to pick up on Bellerophon, Bellerophon, goodness, I keep forgetting the name. They didn't tell anybody. They didn't have a lead. They didn't push for it. I know that they didn't want to start a mass panic, but surely telling people to avoid those kinds of things would be prudent. But they didn't even mention it.
I mean, if she wasn't...
My apologies, Ace, go on.
If she wasn't in her right mind, wouldn't think to do it.
Exactly.
So far, she has not presented herself as one that actually gives a goddamn about her populace. I'm not the only one noticing that. So, I wouldn't be surprised if she intentionally forgot to say it. I'm sorry, Ace, I know that's your mother. Maybe she is going crazy. Maybe she's going mad because she achieved what she wished to achieve and it's turning to ash in her hands because she's shit at it.
I think that I understand 100% where you're coming from on that. I think that given how she's demonstrated such clear cunning and manipulation of the political sphere here, and just in general, I don't think it's that simple. I don't think it's something that she's just forgotten. She's smarter than that, or at least she has been.
And maybe she, like I said, intentionally didn't mention it.
I think she knows that. I think she would know that would be bad to forget to mention it. I think that she has to at least seem like she cares about her populace, otherwise she won't hold the throne for long. So I don't think it's that she intentionally it could be.
She legit called a court of only nobles to announce this.
I think she's trying to contain it, to not cause panic.
Meanwhile, more commoners than nobles are getting taken.
Yeah.
It wasn't until nobles started getting taken that she actually cared.
That she even acknowledged it.
So she's not doing a very good job even pretending that she cares about her populace.
Unless it's not that, unless it is something more. I'm just saying, like, it could absolutely be that. I think given what she's demonstrated, I think she's smarter than that. It could be that. The only way to know is if we investigate it.
True. What you got, honey?
You think about it this way. She put a geese on her own daughter, put a geese on a couple other nobles. And you're telling me that she's turning... No. When she had that meeting, both me and Ambi here, where they are sitting there talking, and she only had nobles in there. She only had people there that could turn around and contain the situation. And the only reason why my people know is because we had been doing neighborhood watches prior to this whole bullshit. I think what she's trying to do is make sure that we're aware of it so that if we get nabbed, we know why. No offense to your ma, but at the same time, she's a bit of a bitch and she's such a ducky, it's not even funny. I want to send her out into duck season.
Manipulating the levers of power as opposed to informing the people. We don't know why yet. I suppose
it's all speculation.
It is possible. Exactly. It's possible. Spend more time around her, definitely. That would
also,
be a
does
good
it really
idea.
matter as long as we can resolve it? Like, whatever, fuck her. She either knows what she's doing or she doesn't. Regardless, the outcome's the same.
Oscar, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and there is your dear, bright Marigold, with a look that you recognize on her face. It's the look of someone who has an idea, but she's hesitating to say it. And she's more looking for you for a sort of support right now.
Yeah, I put my hand on her elbow. And...
She tops off the rest of her coffee and throws it in a trash can.
You're part of the group now too. You have an equal say in this.
Do you all want me to distract her?
How? And to do what?
Keep them out of your hair while you deal with an actual problem. And what I would do is not something I want to do, but I would do because I know it would be the ultimate distraction. I could sneak into the Mountain Fortress Freehold. If I'm there long enough, the banality starts to the glamour starts to disappear. It'd be a pretty good investigation for them to figure out what's going on with a balefire so that you all aren't having your actions scrutinized by many eyes.
It's a pretty big risk.
There you know, there's a Wuppo Tanger running around, and I don't want you to get blamed for this shit. Oski just got you back.
Esmeralda looks to Marigold and says, "Do you have skill with Wayfare?"
And for a second, she's caught off guard because she just didn't expect people to immediately go to asking like details and stuff. But once she recovers, there is an immediate from shock to, oh, hell yes, look on her face.
Make sure you make a door to get the fuck out when shit goes down.
I don't offer this lightly. I do hope you all know that. The last thing I need is to actually lastingly harm a freehold. It's the last thing any of my kind ever wants. But reducing it a little to scare people, I feel okay with.
I wonder if with your ability with Wayfair, I almost wonder if it's better that I'm the distraction and you are able to get in and look around while they're distracted.
I have the same abilities.
Exactly. I'd like to get into more than anything, getting into this facility is certainly one of my goals right now, one of the goals that we need to deal with. This distraction, if we're taking the possibility that, well, the Duchess is, we'll say, compromised, then it might be prudent to get eyes off of our investigation. But we don't know that. So I don't know.
We will keep it in our pocket for now until we get more information.
There is already a noticeable sense of relief on her face.
Yeah, and I'll put my hand on the small of her back.
I
reassuringly.
appreciate
She exchanges motions.
your willingness to do this.
It's nice of you to do it, but I don't want to risk neither yours nor Aski's happiness, because the man almost cracks a smile now. So you being around is actually a good thing.
Indeed.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He's not pissed off anymore.
I think there's more of a risk to you getting in trouble doing something like that, especially given what you are, than me getting caught doing something, for example.
No, you'll just end up with a gas too.
Exactly. Regardless, we need more information on the Duchess and this situation before we can move forward with that, with either of these. We don't even know if a distraction is necessary.
Another way that you all could go about it, and this time she looks specifically to Embra, Ridari, and Honey Badger. Talk to House Aileel.
You can also talk to her chair, if you all know how to talk to a chair.
That's what I was going to look at when I go.
No, I can help you with that. I can definitely talk to a chair. Ironically enough, inanimate objects, not afraid of our cap.
I'm somewhat of a courtier, so I wouldn't mind doing something like that, as distasteful as it might be.
What, talking to a chair? What's wrong with that? It's not distasteful. I mean, I haven't tasted it yet, but still.
No, the nobles of House Aileel.
Oh. Yeah, you guys go talk to them. I got no social skills in that shit. Sorry.
It wouldn't help. It wouldn't hurt to get more nobles' perspectives on the meeting, on what's going on, certainly. And yes, that includes Aileel nobles.
Could ask Simon too to help. He's a noble.
He has limited ability to speak on it, though.
Ah, that's where broccoli comes in. He can only say, he can talk about certain things, but once he gets to the point where he can't talk anymore, he says broccoli.
It's always bad when a red cap has had to develop a safe word.
I know, right? Tell me about it. I was going for tomatoes, but he likes tomatoes so much that we went to a vegetable he doesn't like, and that was broccoli. Who knew? I like eating trees.
I'm sorry, a grown man doesn't like broccoli.
Yeah, apparently some I don't know. Aski, do you like broccoli?
Depends on how it's cooked.
And
See?
and Mari just points vaguely up at Oscar, like, see?
But he doesn't like him at all. So broccoli's the one he doesn't like. So broccoli, he says, when the Gaius Goosey kick in.
Of course, leave it to House Baylor to be the one that is an example of a fucking toddler.
Well, I mean, he's got some amazing shark teeth, I might
Not
add.
wrong.
That'll get
Just
a laugh,
melt
remember?
cheese over it. My God.
Yeah, please.
So what are we going to do?
I don't like separating the group, but it is not a bad idea for the three of you to go investigate House Aileel while the three of us find the March Hare. He might have some information for us.
So you'd
regarding
rather I
everything.
go with the March Hare group?
No, with your mother's group.
Okay, so you meant Honey then. Got it.
Where am I going?
No, Honey, Embra, and you deal with
Okay.
your mom's
The
stuff.
nobility.
Yeah.
Vrayas and I will deal with the March Hare.
Okay.
Emmy's got to attack because otherwise I'll threaten to eat people.
If there is any hint of trouble, drop what you're doing and get out.
Immediately.
Nothing
Yeah.
is worth pursuing.
Yeah, the same holds true for you all too.
Of course.
Precisely.
I'll just eat my way through things. It'll be fine.
And hopefully we'll see progress from Jolly and everything goes okay there.
Something about that goat tells me he will surprise us.
The confidence.
I will say that goat always delivers. Always.
Good. Great. That's
He's-
actually fantastic.
Honestly incredible, but don't ever tell him I said that.
Oh,
My
he's
lips are
one of
sealed.
those goats.
Oh, totally. He ran a street game for what, a week or so? And then came back because he had to dismantle it for some reason? I don't remember.
It's like an hour. But yes. If he didn't belong to Esmeralda, I would have punched him in the head.
I appreciate your restraint. I'm rather fond of that asshole.
Badass.
And Rodari, you know that goats are strong-headed. The punch may not even do anything.
No. I would have made sure it did something to him.
Wow.
Well, is there anything else we'd like to discuss before we break up into our teams, I suppose?
Actually, your ST has a question in a somewhat meta sense. Who have you been asking about the March Hare? Like, has
She's
Esmeralda
been going
reached out
around
to?
because she knows what she's heard about the hare. That
Mhm.
he goes where, the basically youth centers, that kind of thing for wayward.
At-risk teens,
At-risk teens,
or
yeah.
halfway houses, or
Yeah.
a whole bunch
So
of
she's
stuff.
kind of been checking them out, and she's, been asking if anyone's seen, based on his description, him around lately, that kind of thing. Because she hasn't gotten a sense of like where he is as far as where to go yet. So she's just been doing some mundane fucking shit.
You get a text from someone whose texts are very recognizable because every time you open them, it's usually starting with a curse word. Because Aggie Sprocket has texted you.
Oh, okay.
It starts with not a curse word for once. It starts with an address. And then it's immediately followed by another message that said, March Hare spotted there right now.
She literally says, "You are the best, Aggie, always."
Fucking A.
And says, "I've got a location. Let's go."
Wondrous. All right.
Perfect.
Let's get moving.
And on this lovely change of scenery, we're going to go to break.
Yes, we are. We'll be back in 10, everyone.
And welcome back. For the first half, the Changelings talked shop, and holy shit, there was a lot of shop to talk. They had set aside their information on both the Bellerophon Foundation, funded by Pentex, as well as just the general political vibe of their Duchy of Denver, Colorado, which currently is tense, to say the least, with a Duchess who's not really doing her job. The group, after having gotten sweets, treats, and all sorts of machinations settled at Vray's bakery. Vray, your employees were more than happy to hold down the fort. It was a slower day from what they're projecting anyway, so if they get rushed, they'll call you. We start this second half arriving at court. As the three of you enter, there is a smattering of nobles here and there, mostly she, as always, as most nobles are. But there is also, the odd knocker, couple boggins. Every so often, there are noticeable nobles of other kiths. Denver isn't as diverse as some other places, but it's getting there. And everyone seems to be milling around. Some are speaking in hushed whispers. Honey, you see Sir Simon chatting up a couple other nobles, and as he looks over, he just gives a quick wave and flirtatious wink before going back to his conversation, because it seems like he's in the middle of something.
That's fine, honey. He's got a box of donuts from Vavery's Bakery that's got the usual sign. Say hi to me, get a free donut.
I was gonna bring donuts.
Oh, see, hey, you and me can both keep the donuts. You and I can both carry them.
So Ace brought separate donuts because they are gonna just try and walk on in, to the back, behind the closed door, and see what'll happen.
Okay.
And try and give donuts to their family.
Okay, so you all seeing Ace making their way directly across the large open room towards a door that sits just a little bit behind and to the left of the throne.
I assume it has a guard?
No, actually, not this door.
Oh, good.
There are guards stationed elsewhere.
All right, honey, who should we talk up, do you think? I've got a few marks, but I'm looking for people that are isolated. Members of Unseelie House is probably preferred here.
Forgive me if I find this very, very convoluted, that she is asking the Red Cape about how to do social shit.
I was just getting your opinion, dear.
Right. Pick one.
Fair
I'm
enough.
not good at this stuff. I can bully people. I can shit talk. Actually have a conversation with somebody. Yeah, no. Why do you think everyone else talks around me? Hell, Oscar talks more than I do at times.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I'm looking for a House Aileel. Somebody who's maybe not in the best court standing, who maybe... I know there are probably conflicts within Aileel. I may not be...
Finance.
To say that there's someone who is publicly on the outs within their own house might be a little bit much, especially since Aileel is the save face house most of the time.
That's fair.
But there are Aileel that just aren't as chatty and social. So there are, I would say there's every so often a couple of the members that are more standing off on their own. In fact, you actually see, I'll give you this one. You see an older she gentleman who's currently and very not successfully trying to pick through what looks like a small spread set off to the side. Cheese, meat, crackers, bread sort of affair. But he seems not all that impressed with the selection.
Do I know his name and title?
Aside from Aileel, you actually can't really place him. Not everyone in the political houses is politically ambitious, so it's sometimes hard to know all of them.
Right, and that's actually probably good.
And to be fair, the Duchess and her family tend to take most of the Aileel spotlight.
Understandable.
Quick question on this. So was Ace's mentor Abigail Grayson? Was she Aileel at one point?
She was Aileel and then stepped down and resigned herself. She is now mocked by many as the commoner.
She would not be here.
No, she would not. She has no reason to be. Yeah. Actually, Ace, you technically know something of a unicorn, as it were. Not in Honey's sense or in the actual Chimera sense, but more in the literally a commoner. She is a rare fucking thing.
Yeah.
And she's Arcadian, which makes it even weirder.
Hey, Amber, why don't you give him a donut?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
See, we bring food.
Yeah.
Such
You're
right.
right.
Stuff. I mean, my God.
We'll walk up to him.
She just offers shows the sign and kind of offers the vast selection of donuts that Honey's brought.
It takes him a couple seconds as you two approach because he's sort of absorbed in what he's staring at. And then he looks up, his eyes go wide, and then immediately there is now a maple glazed donut that has disappeared from that box. Oh, thank you. You have no idea. I have had the worst sweet tooth. And he takes a bite.
Courtesy
Yeah.
of Lady Swift.
You got to go down to Ferrari's bakery. Her bakery is fucking chopped toys, man. I can't say choice. Apparently, I don't know why.
A local place?
Fuck yeah.
I've only recently finalized my move, so I'm still new to the city.
Hold on. And she'll kind of dig into her bra a little bit. Here's her business card.
He takes it. Is it slightly warped and bent from sweat?
No, not from sweat. It's just been slightly warped and bent because it's on the best part of the bra. It was the top part of it. And it's actually in a little case holder, so it doesn't get any of the sweat on it because she's nice. And it smells only like lilac.
So it's only slightly a concave business card.
Yes.
As he looks it over, may I keep this?
Oh, fuck yeah. That's why I gave it to you.
Thank you. And he will put it away. And then he very quickly finishes scarfing down the donut and licks his fingers. Of course, doing it with such practice because he's she. So even if he tried to eat sloppy, he couldn't. But
do you want another one?
Oh, no, thank you. If I have too many, then it'll suddenly be the only thing I eat. And then my wife will be absolutely livid when I get home.
Come on. One won't kill you. One more won't kill you. Your waistline, at least.
I also, I don't believe I've seen you at court much.
My sincerest apologies. I have not properly introduced myself to either of you.
Of course.
My name is Sir Voltaire.
Pleasure to meet you, Sir Voltaire. I am Lady Embra, and this is Lady Swift.
Hi.
He shakes both of your hands and then looks back at you, Embra. The Star Song, correct?
I see my reputation precedes me. Yes.
It is some reputation, madam. Believe you me.
Well, thank you.
You are not the only notable noble in this city.
So I've come to discern.
There is also, I believe it is Sir Radari the Manticore's bane, if I recall.
Yeah, we know him.
He certainly cuts quite the heroic archetype. Stoic to the last.
I haven't met many of the Gwydion that are still around, although their numbers diminished quite significantly with the recent mess.
Yes, the changing of hands of the throne and the various unseelie and seelie differentiation. It seems like there's definitely been quite the shakeup.
I've been hearing that many Seelie houses are starting to get a bit upset at House Ailil for this as well, even though it wasn't hostile, which I still don't fully understand.
I know. It's been quite the story. I'm quite recent myself, so I'm still getting the bearing on the city itself.
I had to come from a much lower altitude, so I'm still doing my best to adjust to the lack of air.
Completely understandable.
Where are you from?
Maine.
Fuck.
Wow. Came quite a ways.
Not a bad place, though. Excellent lobster.
I have a small freehold out there that I tend to. I'm barely involved in the politics at all anymore.
So why are you here?
Yeah.
When your house tells you we must shore up our numbers for representation within a city, unfortunately, duty calls.
That's completely.
Which is a shame, though. I did like Maine.
That's bullshit. You should be able to go where you want to go.
But the one who inherited the freehold from me, I feel, will run it well. She will not let it fall apart.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. It's always nice to have another waypoint, so to speak.
Indeed. Now, I must say, as much as I appreciate the donut and the hospitality, and frankly, the rather pleasant conversation, you did not approach me for any of this, did you?
Well, I did, because it looked like you were looking at a sorry sack of shit right there and you needed something good to eat.
Oh, it was the salami. It's one of my favorite things to eat, and it just looks so dry.
Look. I know a good butcher over in Chicago. I can get some good salami if you talk to us for a little bit. Fresh slice too.
For that, honey, I believe you should roll some charisma expression.
fuck yeah, I can roll something. About goddamn time.
And normally I'd say this is diff 7. Unfortunately, you're a red cap, so diff 9.
Oh,
May I spend a glamour just for the shit ton of it, just because we're here, maybe to help me? Or actually, willpower. I'll do
Yeah, okay. I was like, glamour. I'm not sure how that would help you in this situation specifically, but willpower you can definitely do.
Okay, good. Diff 9, you say? Fuck my life. That's 2. So that's 3 with the willpower.
Hot damn. And before that roll resolves, Ace, you step through a door into a hallway. There are doors lining the hallway, both sides. The doors are ornately carved, dark mahogany. It seems like the Freehold, ever since your mother took over, has really enjoyed dark, contrasting colors with itself, which gives certain rooms a bit of a sinister lean, but it's not like you're not looking at like Mordor's architecture here. It's just more sharp and angular than someone who is decorating for purely a good guy sort of vibe. And there are occasional like other Kithane that like will like cross through doors or like be coming down the hall from the other side from you. And it just sort of starts taking you further and further into sort of, you know, the behind the scenes, the guts of the Freehold. At one point, as you're walking, you go through a kitchen that is staffed with quite a number of boggins who actually all sort of like there was a loud clamor as you got close, and then you like got to the door, and suddenly there was like for a split second, you swear all these boggins were moving at light speed. And then as soon as you blinked, they were all moving normally, mopping floors, cutting vegetables, things like that. And then as soon as Ace gets out of line of sight again, the clamor starts back up. Because as long as only boggins are watching, boggins can do a lot really fast.
Yeah.
And it isn't until you get practically to the end of the hallway that on the left, Ace sees the first set of double doors. And there is a guard stationed next to them.
Just tries to walk in like they belong there.
The guard doesn't even acknowledge you and you go straight in. As you shut the door, you are immediately greeted with a large table. On it is a classically drawn map of the Denver metro area, with several flags of different houses stuck strategically, as well as several flags that are just solid black. Leaning over the table currently is your brother and your father, who seemed like they were in the middle of complaining at each other. Your brother's a red cat, but he's just spineless enough to not stand up to most of your family, which is why he makes a great minion. And then sitting on the opposite side from the door is the Duchess, your dear mother. Your sister is not here. But they all look up as you enter, and your brother rolls his eyes and then immediately turns back to start bitching with your dad again. Your dad just looks up and gives an acknowledging, like, there you are, and then goes back to arguing with his son. And it's only your mom who seems to be paying attention to you right now. Ace, please come in. What do you need?
I brought donuts. I was hoping to see Bella.
And immediately your brother stops arguing with your dad, just reaches over and grabs 2 donuts roughly out of the box and then just shoves them immediately into his mouth and goes back to arguing. Well, thank you for bringing them. And you said you wanted to see Bella?
Yeah, she and I have been talking a bit lately.
Oh, of course. And she reaches up and pulls a string, and you don't see where the string goes. It sort of goes up, and then it's an odd perspective thing. It's like after a certain point, there just isn't a string, but she pulls it, and you hear the lightest little chime.
What are y'all doing in here?
Oh, it's truly one of the most dull parts of running a duchy. It's all the stuff that we are trying to utilized to find the missing kith. These sites, and she points to all the black flags stuck into the map, are all the so far reported and known sites of seizure. And Ace, as you see, it's really erratic. As now that you have that bit of information, those black flags are so spotty and really spread out. And then these are various holdings for the various houses. These here, these flags that are the neutral colors, are commoner holdings. And Ace, you do see several places that you know, such as S's house, Honey's house, Vray's play. Mostly you can see that it's like freeholds that are marked. And as far as Ace can tell, it's probably good to assume that these are at least a majority of the freeholds in the city from this information. And finally, you hear just like a frustrated like growl as your brother just like slams his hand against the table and walks out of the door. And you see your dad now standing there a bit confused, but he just then sits down in a chair next to your mom.
What's he mad about?
Oh, he doesn't believe that we are going about this in a proper way. He has decided that the best way would be to mobilize ranks and declare martial law. But that there is a reason he is your sister's squire, and frankly, I do not ever see him becoming knight.
Don't tell him that. He has quite the temper.
Yes, but all redcaps do.
Exactly. But
it's like watching a chihuahua. After a while, you just can't be scared of them anymore.
But then he whatever, scared of Ed. But what's y'all's plan?
I have started work with several other houses. We're starting to coordinate search teams, as well as there are several who have been sent out to speak with several commoners. We are getting more pushback on that than I would like.
What do you mean?
From what's been reported to me, it's mainly been a lot of go fuck yourselves, eat shit, she. No one's willing to share our information. And Ace, give me a perception empathy roll.
Yeah, sure. Perception 3.
Diff 7.
I am going to spend a willpower.
Certainly.
Wow, that was no successes, so it's a good thing I did that.
There might have been something from your dad, but it hit and passed too quickly to recognize what it might have been.
So Ace is going to grab a donut and just kind of sit on the edge of the table with the map.
They don't seem to stop you or be worried about it or anything.
They're used to Ace doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And Ace is going to say, I mean, I get that you're she, but maybe if you had invited them to the meeting where you announced what was going on, the response could have been different.
We had decided that the official announcement would be once we had actually taken more steps to actually correcting the problem. To say anything now would not benefit us aside from cause more unrest and make the commoners even less trusting.
You don't think telling them before you started asking them questions might have been smart?
And I need to roll a quick willpower for someone in the room real quick. To which your father simply shrugs and says, I hadn't considered that. Your mother is gripping the armrest of her chair with both hands. They're just white-knuckled a bit, but she's not saying anything. She seems to be keeping her face composed.
Takes another bite. So what's plan B if that's not working?
Should plan A fail, and again, your mother hasn't answered these. It's been your dad. Plan B is less desirable, but something of a gambler's option. I would prefer it plan C, but that's not how our priorities have been set. I have heard some small rumors and reports of a chimera claiming to be a djinn. Should these reports bear fruit, a wish to find the missing Kithane seems like a fairly reasonable thing for me to ask.
Takes another bite. That seems a bit of a Hail Mary.
Hey, Ace, from your empathy roll from just a little bit ago, you also get that you missed something else your dad just felt.
I want to do between the lines too.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna be using it more towards your parents, your dad, the map on the table?
The conversation.
The conversation. Okay. All right. You want to give me a quick roll?
Yep. Ooh, 3.
Actually, Ace, while you're rolling, and just message me the result, and we'll get back to this in just a moment. Honey and Embra, your new friend Voltaire, you glean a little bit about him. He was born and raised in Maine, so he just basically stayed there after he crystallized, and he's just been in charge of this small cafe-style freehold for what's been quite a while now. He's already in his grump seeming. Like, he's not a young she. He's maybe like 50-something years old at least.
So you got a 3 on her success for the empathy and charisma. Thank you, willpower.
And yeah, he has now agreed to sit down and hear you out.
Fuck yeah.
You're good at this thing.
No, not shut up. Just do the thing. You talk more than I do. You say more of the words. I just get to the point.
Sitting down with us, Sir Voltaire, we just had a few questions relating to some happenings in the city and wondering how they relate to court and, you know, rumors, etc. Spill the tea, that kind of thing.
Of course.
And of course, we'd happily trade in a few as well. But our first question is, now, you were here for the previous announcement a few days ago, right? When all the nobles were assembled and they spoke of the disappearances. We were hoping to glean what you might have been able to understand about that particular topic. Currently, we're trying to gain a knowledge base for the Duchess in order to try and push a plan of action forward to help these Kithane who have been disappearing, and any even morsel of information around anything that might have been seen, anything that might have been heard. Any of these particular factors would be incredibly helpful to our particular investigation. So we figured, obviously, with House Aileel, you hold the power, you have the most people in the city right now. It's the most likely that you have something that we could grasp onto.
And do you believe I would have even such a small morsel of information to help with this?
Fuck yeah, why not?
Certainly, why not? You are a noble here in the city. You're certainly in tune with more than most of the commoners. And it stands to reason that even someone who's fairly new to the city, like you or I, might have been able to pick something up.
Plus, why wouldn't they want to be chummy with you? Because they're all the same house. You all kind of hang out together for a bit. And don't you guys all do cool water talk or water talk around the cooler?
Not so much.
And
You see him like look around for a second. Lady Swift, I do not wish to be presumptuous.
Oh, sure,
but
shoot. From the hip.
Given your recent fraternization, I'm sure you can understand how certain unseelie houses tend to carry both a welcoming smile and a very sharp blade.
Okay, so what you angling at?
Your mannerisms were uncouth, and that caused a stir.
I just call it as I see it.
I wasn't even saying it so much in that phrase. It was more, you asked me if we are connected within my house, and the answer is, of course, as much as you can connect to someone that you constantly wish to stab in the back.
I see.
Yeah, well, okay.
But that is...
Just talk to me like I'm in 5th grade, because sometimes people are talking too much words. Thanks.
It's not just the commoners complaining.
I understood that. Once nobles start disappearing, things got very serious.
Do you know who has disappeared? From the nobility.
No, you got a list?
I know that the lady had only said...
Can I have it? Sorry, MB.
No, please.
It's precisely to she. And that's all from the nobility.
Okay, who are they?
That's shocking. Do you have any of the names? So we can check into circumstance, check the freeholds.
There is one Lady Tanya ap Liam.
Somebody from House Liam.
And one Squire Alfred House Liam.
I see. Any relation between the two? Were they abducted at the same time?
That I'm unaware of. I just know that they are the two unaccounted for among our ranks. And there's been more than double that in commoners. I'm certain.
Oh yes, we've heard stories already.
Gotcha.
I would say that was probably closer to triple or more. It's concerning, to say the least.
Many are starting to think that... how best to describe this rumor?
Bluntly.
Lady Charlotte ap Gwydion was once the chatelaine of this freehold.
Yeah, I know, Char.
She disappeared, apparently, just some time after the outing and arrest of former Duke Killian.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yes.
And many at first had theorized that she simply disappeared out of a sense of honor or shame, not wanting to be seen in the public eye for having allowed a Dantain to work under her nose for so long.
I don't think she knew.
But frankly, the more I sit and ruminate on it, I'm fairly certain that was one of the first disappearances people seemed to start noticing.
Okay, got a question for you. Being she disappeared, and it mostly underneath suspicious circumstances, because let's say it is completely suspicious, because most Gwydion either left or stayed but are like quiet. That's a notable disappearance. Did you guys all start searching for her?
There have been many times going to her house, going to many places she frequents. She is not around.
Did she leave anything here that we can turn around and search or look or talk to? Things, not people.
Last I heard, the only place that she had been seen before she wasn't was her home.
Got you.
Understood. Is her home a freehold? Do you know?
No, I believe it's just a home.
Do you have her address?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
And he'll write it down on like a cocktail napkin.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
dude.
We very much appreciate it. This will definitely help.
I very much appreciate something actually seeming to be done.
You're telling me.
Okay, here, have another donut.
This time he'll take a glazed one. Thank you.
And it has been a pleasure talking to you, Sir Voltaire. Truly.
Of course. And now I would like to ask a simple question of you both. And
You're an
he'll
open
take
book.
and he'll take a bite of the donut.
Still working on the lottery numbers.
Oh no, if I ever need lottery numbers, I'll ask House Varric.
Valid.
No. If you all happen to, for whatever arbitrary reason, hear of a Selkie with a claw mark across their right eye, could you please inform me that they are in town? And he'll take another bite of the donut.
Yeah, sure. What's your info? What's your information? I can text you.
And he'll write that down as well.
Cool.
I do not currently have my cell phone on me. I believe it's in my car.
Understandable. Yes, I suppose I'd ask, is there any particular reason for this information, or are you not wanting to divulge that?
As a member of House Fiona, I feel this explanation will be plenty for you. It's a matter of revenge.
I see.
And that's all I truly feel willing to share with you now.
No, that's cool. All right,
Understood.
I get you Salama by, how about Sunday? Sound good?
And if you see nothing, that is also fine.
Yeah, I get you
I
something.
simply
keep
need
an eye
to
out
be
for you.
aware if they are here.
Of course. We'll happily keep an eye out.
And with that, he will then, cheers with the donut, turn on his heels, and head to another spot in this gathering. And we now switch over to a group of 3 entering a teen center.
Do you need
This
to head up
play-
with Ace first?
Oh, my fucking God. Thank you. I am so sorry. Even sober, your ST is a scattered nightmare. Ace. Ah, yes. Beautiful. Your father's frustrated. Incredibly frustrated. And 95% of it is aimed directly at your mom. The other 5 seems to be aimed everywhere else. But most of his frustration is squarely focused on your mother. And the whole thing of him, the things you keep missing with between the lines are telling you he keeps cutting really pissed off eyes at her. Like that whole thing about Ace asking the comment of hey, why didn't you do this really obvious thing? And so you wouldn't come across as such incompetent doofuses. His flicker of a thing you missed as the between the lines fill Ace in were him doing his best not to glare at your mother. So Ace is gleaning from this that these plans are being enacted and delivered upon by your dad. Your mom's the one coming up with them. And apparently, Dad's not all that impressed with these plans either. But he's not saying anything.
He'll do it
For
all
what
right. You seem a little tense.
Oh, we just haven't had much sleep, Ace. It's fine. In fact, pardon me. I am so sorry, but I have to go and check something. And he then gets up and hurriedly heads out of the room. And then your mom just very slowly, with a subtle smile on her face, turns and looks at you. How are things, Ace? I feel like I don't ever get to see you anymore.
You're quite busy now that you're Dutchy.
There is much to handle, yes.
Feeling all right?
As well as I can. There is a lot to keep in mind when you are on top. It is sometimes difficult. Nothing I can't handle, but all the same.
Dad seems frustrated.
Your father deals with his stress in a bit of a tizzy. But I trust him to make correct decisions in the end.
I mean, why does he disagree with you?
Disagree with me? Ace, he wouldn't disagree with me. And you're between the lines is actually still active, so you get subtext with that sentence. She said he wouldn't disagree with me. What she meant is he can't. But your mom obviously doesn't say that flat out. It's only because you are one of the rarest in Cathane that you even got that.
Well, finishes the donut. Good talking to you as always, Mom. Pulls out their phone, takes a quick picture of the map, and walks out.
Do you leave the donuts or do you take them?
Leaves them.
Okay. And as you transition back to the hallway, I'm guessing heading back out towards the main freehold area?
Yeah. We don't have to do the same for this, but Ace is going to go out the same way they came in and is going to do a quick look at the chair before they walk away.
Okay. We can say that's an off-screen thing, but I'll message you after the stream. And now for the other three. Sorry about the delay on your scene there. You enter into a teen center. There is a lot of bright light. It is very open concept, lots of couches for sitting. And you also see a help desk. Esmeralda, since you were the one who got the info, you also know that the human name that the March Hare goes by is John Smith. No, sorry, John Doe. My apologies. And you see a woman sitting at the front desk.
She walks up to the
away.
desk and asks for John Doe.
Oh, you're here for John. Yes, I believe he's, if you just take this hallway back, I think he's just meeting with someone now, but he's right back there. You can just go see him.
Okay.
Thank you.
And it's a fairly short walk, and you see, teens from all different walks of life. Some of them so old that they're probably closer to 20 than they are teen at this point, but hey, they're still teens, so they're welcome. And then there are some that range probably down as far as 13. This is a very populated center, and there's a lot of volunteer work going on here. And you all see, sitting more towards the back at a table with two couches on either side of it, facing away from you all, so just the back, you see two big ears, one of which is flopped over slightly, and they drift down to dark brown hair, an aviator jacket. Sitting across from him is a girl, maybe 17. She has dark black hair that goes just to her shoulders, black lipstick, black nail polish, a belt with two skulls for the buckle. This is a goth teenager if you have ever seen a goth teenager.
Mm-hmm.
She even has, not completely caked, but she has hints of makeup that make her paler than she probably actually is.
S is not going to interrupt. They can have their meeting.
And currently, there is actually playing cards out in front of them. You all, as you approach, can see the March Hare's hand, because they don't seem to be stopping you from getting close and watching. The March Hare has a straight flush. And she then looks up. Well, John, kiss my ass. And she puts down two of a kind. What you got? And then he starts counting out the flush in front of her, and her face falls. And then he rakes it into a pile. And you see that they're not playing with chips, they're playing with starbursts. And he puts it all into a pile. And then she looks up, just such a fucking cheater. And he leans back. You know it. Every damn game, always. And she sits there for a second before cracking a big smile. Then she reaches out and takes all the starbursts, shoves them into a black backpack, zips it up, throws it over her shoulder. All right, John, this was fun. My mom's going to kill me if I'm late back home from one of these again, so I'll catch you later, okay? And she like waves and heads out. Take care. And then it's as he's waving that he turns and you all see a man in his early 40s, really bright smile, has a very warm sort of thing. And the other part of his puka nature becomes clear. His eyes are not human eyes in the fucking slightest. You all are now being stared at by very wide, round pupils because hares have very large eyes. As he turns and seems to be intently focused on all of you. Well, who are all of you? And he stands up in greeting.
She just smiles brightly at him and says, "Hello, March Hare. I am Esmeralda."
The ear that isn't flopped twitches just slightly when you say March Hare. Esmeralda.
Rodari.
Nope, never heard of you. Never heard of you either. And he'll look at the rest of you.
Yeah,
Or
just
the
look at- just look at
last
The
of you,
satyr.
as it were.
Ray.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Rodari said my name.
No.
You can call me Ray Fairy.
You I have heard of. No offense.
She's actually taken aback by this because, like,
Remember, this is
What?
a puka.
yeah, no, I know.
And if he's
But,
not
like, it's
spending
still-
if he's not spending shit to tell the truth, he's probably lying.
Oh, no, I know. But it kind of catches her off guard. She was not expecting to hear that. Even if it's
Does
not
S say that just out loud?
Nope.
Okay.
As she just says, "I love that I do associate with pukas on regular occasions."
It's probably because of her bakery.
Do you have a moment?
I've got this dinner thing.
So you have a moment. Let's
I
talk.
can push it back. And he sits down.
And basically, she asks, she talks about the fact that she just looks at him and says, "Look, we're looking into the disappearances. It has affected some of us personally. And everyone says that if there's anything worth knowing, you know it."
I mean, I'm all right.
So I've heard.
What are you looking to know?
Well, we've generally tracked down likely the organization doing it. Also know where their at least front is located. We also know that it has been predominantly commoners, a few nobles. That's where we are right now. I have someone looking into the business itself to get more information.
What sort of questions do you have for me then?
What are we missing?
Do any of you have a writing utensil?
Yes. And she will take out a small, almost like a journal, but it's just a notebook. It has nothing in it. It's a new one. And a pen.
He takes it, takes a second to appreciate that it's not just like a sticky note or something, and then starts writing a thing down.
Okay.
And then you see him draw a rectangle around it and hand it back to you.
Okay. She takes it and looks at it.
Esmeralda sees a sequence of 6, technically 7 characters. 1 to 8 -C D L.
License plate.
And he nods. That's probably the most useless part of whatever I could tell you, as far as I've gathered.
Got it. Got it.
Do you all want some, and you see both his ears twitch this time, investigative work done?
If you're willing.
And he gets a grin, and I think actually, yeah, only Vray would truly get what this grin means. Vrevari, there are some times, not always, because everyone is nuanced and individual, but there are some times where your court, the kith of the Unseelie, give themselves away a bit. They don't mean to, it just happens. But you being Unseelie can easily recognize one of your own, especially when he gives an unsubtle grin like this. So really, what would you pay me?
It would have to match with the information you bring back, no?
Indeed.
I highly doubt Starburst would be appropriate.
He grins. I'm fucking sick of those things, believe me.
Hmm.
And you guys saw it. That little bitch has no respect, let me tell you. One of the worst kids I mentor, I swear.
I'm going to do something. Hang on. Because I think there's a way for me to use a little bit of tailcraft.
See.
To figure out stuff about him, which will inform me what he might be interested in. Yeah, I'm thinking Agemo's Blessing. It basically lets me, with my arts, read the room.
All right. Any rules you have to make about that? Because unfortunately, this isn't an art I can cross-reference easily.
Yeah. So it says the realms most often applicable are actor, fae, or scene. Says usually you bunk this with either a prologue, a joke, or other mood-setting device, because usually it's to preempt for the mood of the room for a story. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so, and the role for it is the art and the realm. And then the successes are the degree of the input I get.
Gotcha. I'll say diff 6 for that then.
Okay.
And you're just reading him?
Yep, just him, so it's going to be Faye. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it very much is.
Mm-hmm. And my tailcraft. Okay, got it. I'll spend a glamour to lower the difficulty. That's 5 successes. So on the power itself, 5 successes basically gives me an amazing read.
All right.
So generally trying to pick up like, it's not like a direct like read his mind kind of thing. It's more of like read his vibe, read his emotions.
Who are you? What are you? What's your deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly,
what would inspire you kind of thing?
Firstly, at the forefront, There is a very strong sense of empathy and care. You'd probably guess it could be best described as a what's happened to me will happen to none other
Got
sort
it.
of
Got it.
mentality.
Like a protector.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it, as far as you can tell, seems to be centered on youth.
Mm-hmm.
So take for that what you will.
Mm-hmm.
There is also mischief.
Mhm.
He's a puka. That sort of comes with
Of
the
course.
territory. They're all little shits.
Mhm.
But then there is, of course, other things. As any person, he's nuanced. There's some hopes leaking through, some desire, plenty of fear.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, he seems someone who is dedicated to his community and society.
Mm-hmm.
And more than anything, is just frighteningly good at talking, which is how he gets so much info, is because he does the puka thing
Mhm.
of literally just going up to people and shooting the shit.
Mhm.
And then suddenly he knows fucking everything about a person.
She already knows what to offer him then. She already knows.
Okay.
I am also inclined to help children. I would offer my services to your kids.
You're a ventriloquist, right?
Close. Almost on the nose. I can weave an incredible tale. I am also a dancer and can teach dance. So if any of your students are inclined towards that, happy to teach. If any of your kids need to be inspired a bit, I'm good at that too.
Frankly, with me around, they usually need help inspiring, but the offer is thankful.
I will sweeten the deal by adding a 4-week trail hike through the national forests. I can take them through some of the most beautiful places that I've guarded myself.
Alternate sweetener. And he walks up to you, Radari. Let me ask you one question.
Done.
And Oscar, what's about to happen to you is a puka thing.
Okay. Oh, S has had this happen to her.
No. Do I need a safe word?
You're going to wish you had one.
Technically, your safe word is, do you want to spend a willpower?
Yeah, because you can spend a willpower to not answer.
Because depending on what is asked, you may want to.
All right, I'll bring up my character sheet just in case.
Okay. As the March Hare, with eyes that should not be forward-facing eyes, stares practically into your soul as he asks, are you still proud to be a Gwydion?
Ooh.
And Oscar feels the overwhelming urge to truth in his throat. The only way to stop it is if he spends willpower and actively concentrates on not answering. But otherwise, whatever answer Oscar gives must be the truth. Personal truth, as it were. It doesn't have to be like factually true.
For me, I am still proud, but it has become a hard road, Mr. Doe. One I hope to fix.
He gives a wide smile, pats your shoulder. I mean, I don't know, maybe you can do it. And then he gives a very loving, tap on the chin, which he has to sort of reach up to do because you're fucking tall. Thank you.
The offer still stands for the hikes.
Might take the wife. Do you all wish for me to look into anything more? Actually, Vray, he's looking between the three of you, and his eyes do keep falling back onto you a little bit. Do you know not?
Yes.
She painted something for me once. And suddenly, it's odd, the March Hare seems to have a little bit of the sheen of sweat on his forehead that he wipes away. Ugh. I will look into things for you all. May take me a bit. I'll do my best to get updates to you all. And he actually, his face goes a bit pale after saying that, he's a bit out of breath all of a sudden.
You can ask nearly any chimera in the city to pass word to Jolly.
You know that goat?
It's my goat.
That's the typical response to that name.
He just, actually, he'll reach in this time and take out a pen and sticky note. He clearly had these on him the entire time.
Of course
but
he
still
did.
Asked for your notebook.
Of course he did.
Because Puka.
Yeah.
And he writes something down on the sticky note and just hands it to you as.
Okay, and she looks at it.
It says, Jolly owes the March Hare $500.
And she just looks at it and says, and Jolly can pay that because I'm not.
Please remind him.
I will do so.
Is he still in that gang?
No, he had to disband it.
Good. You were saying, Corey, my apologies.
Oh, it's nothing important. Eva had a clamshell of muffins in her bag.
Mm-hmm.
And after noticing that he, went through the effort to tell the truth, she plops it down. It's half carrot bran and half carrot cake.
Ooh, thank you. Carrots, a stereotype. Is there anything else you all need from me at this moment?
At this moment, no.
All right. Well, take care. All of you stay safe.
You as well.
And I'm going to go rob a bank. And he smiles and then
have fun.
Walks around you and heads basically the same way that the girl that he was playing cards with earlier went.
Does he have a bushy tail?
He does not.
He doesn't have a cottontail.
Oh, God.
The ears and the eyes seem to be what his animalistic features are. The long ear. And you notice in his face seeming, he does not have human ears. They are sticking out the top of his head because that's where you guys see his ears.
As soon as he turns around and walks away, there's just this excited kind of look, then the noticing of the no bushy tail, and then there's just the slump. I think this is the smallest that Oscar has ever looked.
Yeah, Oscar looks like he's only 6 feet tall right now.
And S will look at Oscar and be like, So help me, I will find a rabbit puka that has a cottontail.
I just wanted to see a tail.
I will find you one with a tail.
To which the March Hare turns around and says, I don't know about rabbits, but there is a sheep in town. and then he turns back and keeps going. And he doesn't say anything more, but you guys see him like reach up and just tap the fuzzy ears on top of his head.
Yep.
Puka, never a dull moment. All right. Well, that went well. Let's get out of here.
And as this group of Kithane wraps up this episode, just before things end, we cut to a polished, clean, white hallway, fluorescent lighting overhead, often clicking shoes against cheap tile. It's all very medical and sterile smelling. And there is two silhouettes, one much shorter than the other. How are things proceeding? They seem to be, well, not terrible exactly. More inconclusive? Perhaps it's about time to move to phase 2. I thank you all for joining us for this episode of Changeling the Dreaming Stained Glass. I am your ever magnanimous storyteller, Maddox, signing off with this lovely group.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Do join us on the Discord. That is where we cast our games. Right now, there are no open casting calls, but you need to be part of the Discord community if you ever want a chance to play at any of our tables. Also, we hang out there on the regular, and it's a fun group. So join us over there. If you would like to catch back episodes, you can do so on our YouTube. And we have not only for this campaign, this chronicle, not campaign, chronicle, because it's World of Darkness. We have all the prior seasons and the previous episode there on YouTube. And we have over 5 years of content on the McStabber Studios YouTube. So you have plenty of World of Darkness and other TTRPGs to check out there if you want. And also if you like D&D 5e, Call of Cthulhu, or 7th Sea, you want to go to the London Esoteric Society YouTube. That is where our GM Tiss keeps her stuff. So go check out those channels, give them a free subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching content there, make sure you like the video and comment, because that helps boost us in the algorithms, because the YouTube algorithm has been geared towards the shorts and stuff now. So if we want to get more people seeing our content, we need engagement to boost us higher when people search for TTRPGs. And also, please check out our amazing friends who also stream on their own channels. I'm going to start off with Junie Von Esch. What you got going on?
Well, we're back. Yay. I'm strangling the iron because I was told I can't get Wi-Fi in prison and I look really bad in orange. We're doing some whips. We're trying to finish up some stitches, and we're trying to get some chains because fuck these bitches. However, we are working on this stuff because we're going to be taking some of this onto somebody else's channel. That would be Ravenous Archon.
And Ravenous Archon, what you got going on?
Well, I am excited to be back for Changeling. I am a staple here on Wednesdays at the McStabber Studios. But on my own channel, we're going to be starting 2 mini-series as we gear up to going back to our regularly scheduled programming. We're going to be doing Scion First Edition on Mondays, and then Wanderhome on Thursdays, which I am the most excited about because it is a diceless system, and it's all about narrative.
Nice. Awesome. And Mischievous Red, you doing anything on your channel, babe?
Occasionally, but check the Discord for when I go live.
Yes, because our friends, when they stream, it announces on our Discord. So you want to be there. And also Re-Rolls. Re does TTRPGs on his channel as well. And you'll want to check him out. He's taken a break for the month of January, but I believe his group is returning in February. So do check that out. And if you would like to purchase any studio merch, we do have a merch shop over at Zazzle. The link is in chat right now. Do make sure you're signed in though, because some of our items had to be listed as adult items. So you have to log in and be like age verified to see all of our merchandise, like our Camp Wish a Motherfucker Wood Camp Counselor t-shirt. It's really fucking awesome. But you can't see it if you're not logged in. So, yep. And of course, if you would like to support the amazing players at this table, literally show your biddies, y'all. Show your biddies for this amazing cast. Seriously. Bits and donations are distributed amongst our players at our channel. And if you would like to support the channel itself, you can subscribe here on Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription a month. You might consider giving that to us. Or you can donate directly, because Twitch is a horrible pimp that takes half. You can donate directly to our KoFi page. Our coffee page, go buy Mama a coffee. Mama is so fucking exhausted because it's wintertime. I'm so fucking exhausted. The days are too damn short. I run on solar batteries, okay? So literally...
You need to get a backup generator.
I know, right? Because my solar batteries are like depleted. But yeah, so if you can, please. If you can't, go to YouTube. That's a free way to support us. YouTube, subscribe for free, like and comment on videos, and that helps boost us there without costing you a single thing. But yeah, and of course, coming up over the next week, we have like all the stuff. As y'all, if y'all been here since the beginning, you saw the intro, the promo reels that we have. We have all the stuff right now. Okay. So coming up, we have tomorrow premiering Delta Green, run by Timber Brad. Yeah. 8 p.m. Eastern. Check that out. Brand new 3-session miniseries. Red's gonna be in that. Yeah. And you're any, not your outies in that. Yeah.
Look, guys, one of our suffer puppets will be causing the suffering since he's running the game.
I know, right? They've been told to come with 2 characters already for a 3-session game.
Damn. Fuck, I could only dream of being that lethal as an ST. Holy shit.
Hyper lethal. Good God.
I've been that lethal as an ST.
Between Mama and Rav, I mean, if you haven't seen Queen's Gambit.
Killing people.
Yeah. So literally that's tomorrow. And then on Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, Rez just hopping with us this week because she's in Friday's game too. We have Kansas City, A Domain Divided. It's our V5 Modern Knights Chronicle set in Kansas City. Yeah. So that's 8 p.m. Friday. The war is on, baby. The sect war is on.
Also, sorry, I'm the ST, so I can keep interrupting with these little bits. Favorite Zamisi SPC was introduced last episode, y'all.
Yeah.
Check this out. Just for that.
He's such a fucking monster.
It's like, oh my God, you are such a prime example. Fucking love that.
I know, right? Such a fucking monster. But Cat's like, dude, you speak my language. We're cool. But yeah, so that's 8 p.m. on Friday. And then Saturday, we have a double feature at 3 p.m. Eastern. Ravnos Archon plays in this game. It's the last session of 7th Sea, run by Tiss. Check that out. It is the brightest game on our channel right now. But pirate hijinks. Yes. Pirate hijinks. Yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern Saturday. And then also Saturday evening, Junie here is ST, and Maddox is in that with me. We play Chicago Hidden City. It's a vampire V5 modern-ish game. It is set in the year 2010 in Chicago.
At
So
least it's in the same century.
I know, right? So that's at 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. So 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Saturday, we have streams. And then, of course, we will be back here Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we deal with some of this nonsense, this fucking banal shit. Oh my fucking God. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I actually motivated my players on making every other ST in the world jealous. I don't have to force them along the plot. They want to follow it.
Yeah, we need to get our people back. But and show this Duchess that she's really fucking garbage. Fuck it. The fucking Brown Palace becomes a commoner freehold.
Hey, guess what? It's already changed hands 1 billion times during the war.
I know. What the fuck? All right. So that's our schedule for the week. Like I said, it's a lot of freaking games right now. Tune in to what you're interested in. Tune in when you can, for real. We appreciate you. And of course, back episodes will always be on our YouTubes, usually within the week of streaming. McStabber Studios ones are a little bit quicker. Tis takes about a week to get hers uploaded because she has a life outside of streaming. But yeah. And of course, I would like to tell you to please take care of yourselves. Please. Right now, it is rough. We are basically less than a week away from everything. And it's already starting because they're already pushing his agendas before he's even in fucking office. And yeah, so please take care of yourselves. If you are currently in crisis, there's nothing wrong with you needing help. Please get the help you need. Right now in chat, there is a list of organizations that you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if those organizations don't suit your needs, or you are watching on YouTube or in another country, you can go to findahelpline.com. You can search by your location to find the crisis support resources available to you. And hopefully you find what you need. Please, please reach out if you need help. You are not alone. Oftentimes, those organizations are staffed, those phone lines and text lines are staffed by people that have experienced the same type of crisis. And they want to help because they know that you aren't alone, and not being alone helps you through crisis. Okay? So please get that help. And also, I'm going to tell you to please take care of your physical health as well. The mind and the body work together completely. As one goes, the other goes. Take your meds, drink your water, get vaccinated, and please take care of yourselves. Please. I am a registered nurse, and I'm terrified of what's going to happen to our healthcare system that's already broken. It's already broken. But it can get worse. If they repeal the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, your kids, if you got them, they won't be able to be covered on your insurance anymore if they're over 18. Because the ACA let us cover our kids until they're 26. Yeah. That's what happens if they repeal the ACA. A bunch of people lose insurance. And not just people that are buying their insurance and stuff like that. It's people with pre-existing conditions. It's young adults that are still on their parents' insurance. So this is what we have to possibly look forward to. And it terrifies me. Absolutely terrifies me. So please, do what you can to take care of yourself. The next 4 years are going to be a really rough ride. And lastly, I'm going to say, if you help usher in this new administration by either voting for the fucking felon, voting third party is a protest, or abstaining when you had opportunity and eligibility to vote. You need to get the fuck off this channel and out of my community. You are undesired, unwanted. You are not tolerated. Your actions have caused harm to everyone. Said with all sincerity. Have a good night.